Right here is my 10-year-old son Rocco. My name is Rick, and we are US Grit, getting ready to face off in a quarterfinal game against the COVINA Baseball Club at the NCSOC World Series. We got a win to move on. It's single elimination now after going 4-0 in pool play. Let's see what we can do today. As you can tell, I'm filming through a net, so I'm sorry about that. There might be some focus issues, but I'll do what I can. Here we go. This is my filming setup for this game. The net above the yellow there. Unfortunately, my step stool wasn't big enough. I did bring the ladder, anticipating it, but it's gonna be a tough one. Here we go. Mason Herrera into pitch for Grit. Top of the first inning. First pitch of the game is swung on and fouled to the backstop for strike one. I do want to thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share our videos, and leave us a comment. We love answering them. Thank you so much for being here. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Good pitch, Herrera. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed in the dirt. Saya has to pick it up. Throw to first, and he does, and they complete the out there. Good job, Grit. One down. Here we go. Okay, new batter. First pitch. Swung on, hit well on the ground. Fielded by Gavin. Thrown over to first, and that's going to be 2 outs. Good job, Gavin. 2 down. Let's go. Here's the first pitch to the new batter. Outside. Ball 1. 1-2, swung on, hit well, and that's going to be down to the fence. They're picking it up. He's rounding second, or rounding first on second, and he's going to be in there with a double. Nice hit there, number 99. Here we go. Okay, runner on second now, or 2 outs, I'm sorry. First pitch down in the dirt, blocked well by Saya. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit well on the ground, and that's going to get through. I can't see the sun in my eyes, and they do get it in. So we're gonna have first and third, I believe. Yep, first and third with 2 outs. Okay, first and third now, 2 outs. First pitch, curveball, swing and a miss, strike one. Here's the 0-1. That one gets by Saya, and they're gonna take second base, so it's gonna be second and third now. It's still 2 outs, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Curveball, strike two, good pitch. The 2-2. Curveball again, swung on and missed in the dirt. Saya's gotta pick it up. Throw to first, and they do. So that's 3 outs. Herrera gets out of it, puts up a 0. Let's go hit Grit. Here we go, boys. Okay, Mason Herrera in to lead off the game for Grit. Bottom first, no score so far. First pitch of the game for CBC, and that's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Called, strike 3, outside corner. Mason goes down looking, 1 out. Okay, Mace dog in now. Nobody on, 1 out. First pitch to him. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. The 0-2 pitch. Called. Strike 3. Outside corner. Really off the plate. But this umpire called it twice now, so we got to protect it. Okay, Gavin up. 2 outs. Nobody on. First pitch. In there. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit back to the pitcher. Gloved well. And he throws to first, and they do get the out there. So Grit goes down 1-2-3. No score after 1. Let's go. Okay, no score. Top of the second. First pitch. Outside. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit on the ground. Fielded by Gavin. Thrown over to first for the out. That's 1 down. Good job, Gavin. Here's the new batter. First pitch. Right there. Strike 1. 0-2 again. Curveball hit in the air. And caught by Achilles in left field on a little sliding diving attempt. Good job, Achilles. 2 outs. Way to go. First pitch, new batter. Hit in the air. And it hit off the net, so it's a foul ball. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit well, and that's going to be into left field. Achilles bodies it up, so that young man has a hard hit ball single. Nice swing, number 16. 2 outs still. First pitch, new batter, outside, ball 1. Sorry, fly on my arm. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit in the air. Gavin underneath it, and he makes the catch. Good job, Gavin. That's 3 outs. Grit puts up another 0. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Let's score some runs, boys. Here we go. All right, Eden Big Poppy to lead off the bottom of the second inning here. Still no score. Here's the first pitch. Swung on, hit well to the left field side, and they're going to pick it up and throw it in. And Eden's gonna hold it first with a single. Nice swing, Eden. Way to go, first hit of the game for Grit. Let's go. Here we go, first pitch to Saya is turned on, and that's gonna be foul. Here's the 0-1. Outside, ball, Eden goes two. He's gonna be there standing up. Good job, Eden. Here's the 1-1 to Saya. That ball's up, and it gets by again. Eden going. And he's safe there at third base. Good job, Eden. The 3-2 pitch. Off the plate, ball four. Saya works a walk. We got first and third now with no outs. Here we go. All right, Jax steps in. First and third, no outs right now. First pitch to Jax. Swung on, hit up the middle, and that's going to get down in center field. So Gavin holds it 2, but that scores the first run of the game. Grit goes up 1-0. Good hit, Jax. Way to go. Okay, Austin stepping in. First and second, no outs still. First pitch to him. Called, strike one on the check swing. 3-2 pitch. Low and away, ball four. So Austin works a walk, and we got bases loaded, no outs. Here we go. All right, Achilles in to hit now. Bases loaded, no outs. First pitch. Swung on and fouled back, strike one. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike three for the first out of the inning. Bases still loaded. All right, Christopher up, first pitch. Right there, strike one. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, hit well, and it's gonna get caught in right field. And we weren't ready to tag somehow, and the runner at third base has to hold. That's Gavin. Should have been on the base immediately. Dang it. All right, Levi the kid steps in. Base is still loaded, 2 outs now. First pitch to him is up, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit on the ground, and it takes a weird hop. I don't know if it hit the base or what, but that's gonna score 1 and 2. Excellent job, Levi. Way to go, kid. Way to hit the ball. Scores 2 more runs. Let's go. All right, that brings up my 10-year-old son, Rocco, first and third with 2 outs. First pitch is up, ball one. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit well, and foul. Dang it. 1-2. Called, strike three. Up and away, and he calls it. 3 outs. Here we go. Top 3, first pitch, outside, ball one. 2-1, swung on, hit well. That's gonna get to right field. Rocco bodies it up, throws one, and he's late there. It's a good try, but good hit there from number 8. Way to go. Okay, runner on first, no outs here. First pitch, swung on and missed, strike one on the curveball. Here's the 0-1, down in the dirt, ball one, and he's gonna get to second base on that one. Number 8's pretty quick. Here's the 1-1, curveball in the dirt, off Saya's chest. He pops up and just ball gets behind him. Here we go. Here's the 2-1, inside ball, that gets by, and runner's going, and he's gonna be safe there. So that runner took 3 bases there on balls that are getting away. Here we go. Here's the 3-1, outside, ball 4. First pitch, new batter from Doyle, and that gets by Saya, and Eli's gonna take second base. Here's the 2-0, swung on, hit well, and that is into the net, that's gone. So that is a 2-run jack that ties this game up. Holy moly, that was hit hard. Number 99, he had a good hit earlier, and that one he got all of. So that's a new ball game, 3-3. Here we go. All right, new batter, nobody on, no outs. First pitch. Ball. Payoff pitch, 3-2. Swung on, hit in the air. Rocco underneath it and makes the catch. Good job, Rocco. Way to go, 1 out. All right, new batter, first pitch. Low in the dirt, ball 1. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, hit on the ground, and stopped by Gavin, thrown to first, and he's out at first base. Good job, Gavin. That's 2 down. Let's go. Okay, new batter, first pitch from Doyle. Strike 1, good pitch. Here's the 0-2. Hit on the ground, fielded by Gavin, thrown over to first for out number 3. Good job. That's 3 outs. Let's go. All right, Mason Herrera in to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch to him is swung on. He hits a chopper. Shortstop sits back, throws one, and it gets away. And he's going to be on the high throw. Good job, Herrera. Let's go. Okay, Mace Dog steps in now. First pitch, swung on, hit in the air, and underneath it is first base, and he does make the catch. So Doyle pops out. Oh no, it hit the net. I'm sorry. I believe, no, they say he's out. Coach Doyle was arguing that it hit the net. I guess not. Here we go. Here's the first pitch to Gavin. He looks for bunt. Herrera goes, and he's going to be there safely, just barely. Good job, Herrera. And that was a ball to Gavin. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and hit well, and that's going to be down in the gap. Mason Herrera is rounding 3rd. He's going to go home, and that's going to untie this game. 4-3 now, U.S. Grit. Nice hit, Gavin. Way to go, kid. All right, Eden stepping in now. Gavin on first, 1 out. First pitch to Eden is up and away, ball 1. Gavin holds at first base. Here's the 2-0 to Eden. He triggers, doesn't go. Called strike, and Gavin takes second base, so it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, hit well to center field, and it's caught. And they're going to double up Gavin, who went on the pitch or on the hit. So that double play ends the inning. Grit leaves Gavin aboard, scores 1, 4-3 after 3 innings. All right, Mason Doyle to pitch the top of the 4th. First pitch from him is outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit on the ground. Fielded by Christopher, thrown to first for out number 1. Good job, Christopher, 1 down. Here's first batter, or new batter, first pitch, I'm sorry. In there, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit well, right to Achilles, who makes the catch. Good job. 2 outs, way to go. Let's go, Grit. All right, new batter, first pitch. In there, strike 1. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, hit on the ground. Christopher fields it, throws first, and that's going to be out number 3. So Doyle puts up a 0. Grit carries a 4-3 lead going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Let's go. All right, Gummy Bear in to lead off the bottom of the 4th for Grit. First pitch. Swung on and missed on the curveball, fooled. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit well. And it's bobbled. They throw 1, but they get him in time. Good play, third base, 1 out. Jackson now, he got to hit his last at bat. First pitch. Right there, strike 1, outside corner. 2-1. Swung on, hit well to shortstop, who gloves it, throws to first base for out number 2. Good play, 2 down. Austin, first pitch is up, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. And that gets him in the helmet, so Austin is going to get gifted first base there. Here we go. All right, Achilles stepping in now. Here's the first pitch. Swung on, hit foul into the net. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. He goes 1. And he's safe. They don't realize that the base isn't occupied with 2 outs, so Achilles reaches. Heads up play there, good job. All right, big hit from Christopher would be key right now. And he sees ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, hit on the ground. They pick it up, throw to first, and they're going to get out of that inning. So Grit's clinging to a 1-run lead here, going to the 5th. Let's go. All right, top of 5. First pitch from Doyle is up for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Knuckleball. And Achilles can't quite get there. That's going to get all the way to the fence. So he's rounding first, heading for second. He's going to have a double on the knuckleball. He sits on it and puts it down just in front of Achilles, who dove and just couldn't quite get there. Nice hit, number 8. That's the tying run now on second base. All right, nobody out. Runner on second, and that is hit to Herrera, who gloves it and can't quite get to second base. Christopher and Herrera both trying to rush there to try to double him up, but can't get there. But that is 1 out. Nice play, Mason. Good job. All right, here we go. New batter, first pitch. In the dirt, and it gets away. Runner takes third base easily. He was going on the pitch. I didn't notice. They decide to intentionally walk that hitter, who did go yard his last at bat. Put him on first base. and they're gonna pinch run for him. I guess he's catching. So here we go. First pitch, right there, strike one, good pitch Doyle. Here's the 0-1, inside, ball one. And runner from first does take second base. That takes away the double play opportunity. Here's the 1-1. Knuckleball is hit up the middle, and they get him at first. And they're saying watch three. That does tie the game. That's 2 outs. Good job on the play, but that's tied up at 4 now. Let's go. New batter, first pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground. Fielded by Gavin, thrown over to first. And that is going to be out number 3. So Grit gets out of it, but it is tied going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Time-wise, depending on what goes on here, this might be it if we can score. Let's go. Okay, Levi stepping in, tie game, bottom of the 5th. Here we go, first pitch. Swung on and poked back to the pitcher. Second base charges and gets him out at first on the little check swing. Here we go. All right, my 10-year-old son Rocco steps in. Nobody on, 1 out. First pitch to him. He triggers but doesn't bite on the outside corner, and it's called strike one. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit hard, and fielded by second base right to him. That's 2 outs. Good try. All right, Mason Herrera up, 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch to him is outside, ball one. Here's the 3-1. Down and away, ball 4. So Herrera does work a walk and brings up Mason Doyle. Here we go. Here's the first pitch. It's a pitch out. They back pick. Herrera is back safely. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That ball is up, ball 4. So now Mason Doyle works a walk. We got first and second with 2 outs. Here we go. Gavin stepping in. 2 outs, first and second. First pitch to him. Inside. Called strike one. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, hit on the ground. Fielded, and they're going to touch second base. And so that is going to be the end of the 5th. Score remains tied, 4-4. We're going to a 6th. Let's go. Okay, top 6, first pitch. Right there, strike one. Good pitch, Doyle. Here's the 1-2. Right there, strike 3 called outside corner. 1 out. Good job, Doyle. Okay, new batter. First pitch, 1 out, nobody on. Swung on, hit foul into the backstop, strike 1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, hit well. Stopped by Christopher, thrown from a knee to first base for out number 2. Good job, Christopher. 2 outs. Here we go. All right, new batter, first pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground, and foul. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just off the plate, ball 1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Here's the 1-2. Outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, hit in the air, and foul out of play. Here's the 2-2 again. Down in the dirt, ball 3. Here's the 3-2. Right there. That is a strike. Oh, they call it ball 4. I don't see how that misses. And that puts the go-ahead run aboard here in the top of the 6th. All right, new batter, first pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Here's the 1-2 again. Outside ball, they go. And he's going to be safe there at second base. 2-2 pitch again. Knuckleball outside, ball. Runner goes 3. And he's safe there at third base. Go ahead run on third base now. All right, here we go. 3-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, ball 4. So Doyle walks him. That's 2 walks now, and we've got 2 outs still. Here we go. We need an out. All right, new batter, first pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Here's the 2-0. Swung on, hit on the ground. Gloved by Doyle. Thrown to first base, and they get the out. So Grit goes into the bottom of the 6th with a tie score with a chance to walk it off. Here we go. Let's go, boys. Bottom 6, tie game. Eden stepping in to lead it off for US Grit. Let's see what happens here. First pitch outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on, hit up the middle. So Eden's going to start it off with a single, attaboy. And we got our winning run aboard. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, Saya in now. Eden at first base. First pitch to him is called strike 1, outside corner. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, hit in the air, but that's going to be foul, out of play. Strike 2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Saya goes 1, but the base is occupied. And Eden gets hung up. And he's going to be out there. What are we doing? Base running mistake number 3 of the night, and that kills what we had going on. Now we got to start over with 2 outs. All right, Jack's up, nobody on, 2 outs now. He sees strike 1 down the middle, first pitch. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit well, and that gets through. So Jax is going to have a base hit. We got new life. They throw it away. Jax is going to hold there at first base, though, as it goes back to the catcher. Okay, Austin in now. Jax on first base, 2 outs. They pick. Jax is back safely. First pitch to Austin is up and away, ball 1. Here's the 1-0, outside, ball 2. Jax is going, and he's safe there at second base. Good job, that's close. That's the winning run on second base with 2 outs. Let's go. Okay, 2-0 right now. They bring the infield in quite a bit to try to take away short base hits and cut the run down at home. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on Austin. 2-1. Austin ducks at the curveball, strike 2. Here's the 2-2, outside, ball 3. And they back pick Jax, and he's out at second base. Wow. All right, so once again against Covina Baseball Club, we did this in January or February. We're going to extra innings. Here we go. Okay, the extra innings rules are bases loaded, 1 out. Jackson to pitch. First pitch is strike 1, good pitch, Jax. Here's the 0-1. Curveball is hit well, and that's in the gap. That's gonna get all the way to the fence. Austin was coming in. It's gonna score all 3 original base runners, and that young man, Eli, is on second base. Big hit for him. All right. All right, first pitch, new batter, strike 1. Here's the 0-2. Right there, strike 3 called. So that's gonna be 2 outs. Grit down by 3 with this extra inning bases loaded rule, so we're gonna have to score runs in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see what happens. Let's get the 3rd out first. Here we go. First pitch, pulled down in the dirt, off the backstop, and Eli is gonna take third base there. All right, the 1-0, swung on, hit in the air, and foul, out of play. 3-2 pitch, right there, strike 3. So Jax gets out of it, but he gives up the big hit, allowing 3 starting with the bases loaded. Grit needs to do at least the same. Let's go. Okay, Austin in now, bottom 7. Bases loaded, 1 out to start the inning. First pitch, swings and misses, strike 1. Here's the 0-2 again, and it buckles him, strike 3, looking. Okay, Achilles steps in, representing Grit's last chance right now, 2 outs. Need to score at least 3 with the bases loaded. Here's the first pitch, swung on, fouled into his foot, strike 1. 1-2, swung on, hit well, that's gonna get into left field. And that's gonna just score 1, but Grit stays alive. Here we go. Christopher in now, Grit needs 2 more runs at least, 2 outs, base is still loaded. First pitch, swung on and hit foul, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, hit on the ground, fielded, thrown to first, and that is going to be the game, and that's going to be the end of the line for US Grit here at this OC World Series from the NCS tournaments. Just, you know, too many mistakes, mostly on the bases there tonight, and just came up short again. A little bit of deja vu against Covina Baseball Club, losing to them in extra innings for the 2nd time this season. So Grit, keep your heads up. Thank you so much for watching this exciting game. Please leave us a like, comment. Don't forget to subscribe, share our videos. I'm not sure when we'll see you next time. Grit taking a little bit of break. Rocco playing a little bit of football, so maybe some of that content coming up as well. We'll see you soon. Peace.